I get satisfaction when people say that when they drive onto the property and drive through those majestic gates, that all their stress melts away. We have an amenity profile that is second to none. Obviously golf focused, but tennis, pickleball, trap and skeet, 3 or 4 member dining areas, a banquet hall.
The club is a core piece of London and has been since the very beginning of London. The club mimics our most famous member, Sandy Somerville, in terms of being quietly confident, kind, and humble.
Michael Hurdzan was hired to be the course architect, to look at tree removal, tree programs, playability of the golf course for all members. It really started with our irrigation system. The system was put in 1982. It was out of date. We needed to spend money on drainage, and then we actually wanted to redo all bunkers on the golf course. And the design that Mike gave us is something that's playable for all levels of golfers at the club. 8th hole, our second par 3. So one of the neat additions to this hole is actually something that we used to have, a small bean style bunker that Robert Trent Jones put in. It was taken out in the 1980s, but Michael Hurdzan looked at the original drawings and decided that we needed it back in, and our membership and everybody agrees that it looks great and plays great. The 10th has always been our signature hole. The hole has picturesque views, whether it's the Thames River, the forest. It now, with the changes, gives you options around the green. If you're gonna try and attempt to hit it in 2, there's bailout areas or miss areas where before it didn't necessarily have those. We actually took a course of stone from our par 3 second hole to raise it 24 inches to give it that width so that we could add more pins, more playability, more options for Sunday pins and club championships. It really has something for everybody. So we're now on the 11th hole, par 4. This is now our second hardest stroke hole on the property. This fairway bunker was actually reduced by 40%, but has now become more penal in the sense that the fairway now contours or shapes into the bunker itself, where before it was sort of ridged where balls would kick off the fairway bunker out into the fairway. And then when you look at the green, it's surrounded by bunkers, but there's balance. And when you think of the opening, the throat area of this fairway, it's been doubled in size, and people would think that would make it easier, but in actual fact, balls run up and then they run back down. So this is one of my favorite views of this property, looking from in between the 11th green and the 12th tee, down on 11. It's pretty neat to see the elevation change. The 18th hole, great par 4 to finish. You really have to think your way through it. You just can't get up and hit a tee shot. It's a well-guarded fairway. You have to be comfortable with a 160-yard shot. If you use driver off the tee, you might only have 80 or 90 yards. The green is not simple. It's an elevated green with a slope on the front. If that slope catches your ball, you're at the bottom, and now you have a very tricky up and down. To see most of our match play events end up on 18, you know that it's not an easy feat to win on 18.
I think the success of a club like this stems on the ability to uphold the traditions and respect the past, but also to understand the evolution and what tomorrow's member wants out of a high-end private country club.